It is said that the pen is mightier than the sword, that knowledge and communication avoid conflict. This, in and of itself, is true. And this truth is why public speaking, debate, and argumentation classes should be required classes in all colleges across the United States of America. Throughout the duration of my speech, I will address three main points. First, I will discuss the importance of critical thinking and how that stems from argumentation and debate. Next, I will discuss public speaking and how that stems from argumentation and debate, and as well as how that benefits those who learn public speaking in society. Finally, I will discuss civic involvement, finding out one's own ideas, and listening as some of the most important things one can learn from argumentation, debate, public speaking, and college. First, debate is scientifically proven to be good for your brain and for your IQ. According to Dr. Gwen Duar, school often involves writing but not equating or thinking about all sides. Thinking or equating all sides is known as critical thinking. If one writes about one side, that is exploring one's viewpoint. If one has to think through all aspects of a problem, that is critical thinking. That is what is good for the brain, and that is what grows the brain's physiology. Argumentation and debate force one to encircle information and think through it critically. Studies suggest that arguing and debate are good for the brain's physiology and the wiring of the brain itself. Reasoning and advanced thinking can literally add IQ points to an individual's intelligence and bolster the size of one's frontal lobe. Young students exposed to debate showed that a cost-benefit analysis became available to them much earlier than other students not exposed to debate. Let me highlight the importance of this and let it show why debate should be a required college class. This means that younger students literally had their brains change faster than other younger students of their age. I'm talking about kids in elementary school who were exposed to debate because their frontal lobes develop faster, allowing them to bring in cost-benefit analysis into their decision-making process. This is the true power of debate, and this is why it should be included and required in all of our college classes, because if a simple learning technique such as reasoning and debate can literally change a young kid's brain, imagine what it can do for a full-grown adult in college. Early development speaks to the brain-boosting power of argumentation and debate. Argumentation and debate also require a firm grasp of public speaking. This, in and of itself, is good. According to Alex Clark of the United Kingdom's Education News, debate requires one to master public speaking skills. Public speaking is very important and very critical for one's success, and is a further aspect of why debate and college courses should be included and fought for in all colleges across the United States. Critical thinking in front of an audience requires that one cannot have a sort of backroom discussion with a half-cocked idea. If you're going to go in front of a full audience and present an idea, you have to have thought the idea fully through, because throughout that audience there are going to be many different perspectives shared by the audience members. This means that anyone who's going to attempt argumentation or debate in front of an audience, which is in and of itself public speaking, has to also go through reasoning and critical thinking. Public speaking is a very important skill. According to Dr. Rodney Sharkey of Cornell University, to make change and fight, one must be well-versed in public speaking. This means to make civic change, to make change in your local government, to make change in your family, or to fight for oneself and one's self-worth in the American job market. According to Sharkey, this is the kind of change that public speaking, argumentation, reasoning, and debate can do. This is why we as a society must ensure that public speaking and debate classes are required classes in colleges because of all of their lasting benefits. Public speaking also raises a society by opening up communication to one another. It is vital for one to not only be able to argue their points, but to be able to communicate them thoroughly and articulately with one another. Critical thinking pushes people to be involved in their civic society and follow through with their democratic duty as a citizen. Think for 1 second where we would be if no one knew how to argue, think for themselves, or develop their own personal idea. We'd be in a nation with two political parties, Republican and Democrat, that didn't speak to one another and existed in their own vacuum chambers. It's a joke because it's where we are right now. This is why colleges should require debate and public speaking, so that all college students are forced to think for themselves, not within their own little version or their own little world. According to Dr. Ricardo Aziz of the Huffington Post, college students no longer feel they are prepared for the real world. The real world being civic involvement. The real world being job opportunities. The real world being fighting for yourself in an interview room, or fighting for yourself with your family, or just negotiating for yourself with public speaking. According to Melissa Denny of the National Federation of States High School Associations, debate classes raise confidence in young men and women. Self-confidence in and of itself reduces posturing. Posturing being hearing but not listening. Waiting for someone to finish talking so that you can get your own ideas out. That is what posturing is. Self-confidence in public speaking reduces that and teaches listening skills. Active listening means not just listening to respond to get that zing moment, but listening to understand the other person's point of view, and so that you can maybe come to a compromise. Today, during my speech, I covered 3 main points about debate classes. First, that debate classes teach critical thinking and independent thought. Second, that debate classes teach public speaking and self-confidence. And third and finally, that debate classes and college courses inspire involvement, and they most importantly inspire active listening and compromise within a society. Every important society and every important family and every well-working relationship all utilizes active listening, public speaking, and critical thinking. This is why argumentation and debate classes should again be required in college courses, because they highlight all of these 3 such deeds. To close, I would ask that all of you call your local colleges, call your local congressmen, call your local leaders, and tell them, exercise your critical thinking and your public speaking, that you want these kinds of courses in the legislature, that you want these kinds of courses to be required courses in all colleges. Thank you.